K-pop stuff, and it has pretty much BTS has won me over. None of the other ones have, but BTS has.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I
did you
mean,
get any nice outfits to match them? I mean, which one of the BTS guys do you relate to the most?
I don't know, but they've done some really funny Korean Air commercials, and
Yeah, they do
the
the video. You'll see. Yeah, they do the safety video.
right. They do the safety video for Korean Air. It's great. It's very well done. Yes, it's very well done. And their videos, their music videos generally are pretty good. Some of them are quite funny, but yeah, I grew a whole new respect for those guys. And I'm sold.
What they've accomplished, what they've accomplished is pretty amazing, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, but they're a corporate band. They didn't get together because they were buddies like most bands that you and I would ever know coming up through our lives. But there's some guy. What's the name of that corporate entity? That guy that he's got 2 or 3 or 4 K-pop bands, and he tries out all these kids, and he throws them in school and teaches them and rails on them for 2 years, and they crank out the other end. They're a boy band or a girl band, and then they go out there and they make money. But they're pretty, if you watch any of the news stuff on how the K-pop bands, started off and came up through the ranks, they're all corporate bands. It's like the Monkees, the Monkees, the only one that could play anything was not Peter Tork, Michael Nesmith. The Monkees weren't even a real band until they got so popular they had to learn how to play.
And even then, the Wrecking Crew did their recording, from my understanding.
Yeah,
Just remember, hey, let me introduce everybody to say this. Hey, welcome to Thinking Out Loud. This is with friends, of course, and these are our friends, and you're more than welcome to become a friend and join us if you like. So, all you got to do is DM anyone in the room, and they will send you an invite. Also, just so you know, everything you hear today is an opinion, so do your own research. The show is already in progress because we get into the room a little early, warm up, say things that we don't want to say on the air, Although some of the shows that we've said things that we shouldn't have said on the air, but then you have to go back into the archive and look at why that was the case. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking too much. Let's move on. Hello, Bruce. Hello, David. Hello, Chris. And hello, Greg and Wayne. And more people will be coming and joining us, but we don't need them. We need us. So what's going on with everybody? So K-pop. So do you have a poster of them in your bedroom or what?
On the ceiling? No.
Oh, no, not like that. Not like that.
No.
But the one thing about BTS, Bruce,
yeah,
they actually played in Thimphu, Bhutan.
Yes, yeah.
For the king of Bhutan.
Oh, that's wild! Wow, yeah.
So that was Her Majesty the Queen's favorite band. And
really,
so he requested that they play. And,
yeah.
Oh man, it was quite the thing. Bring all that production up into the largest stadium, and it was free for anybody, any Bhutanese citizen, anybody who had a visa to be in Bhutan at the time could go ahead and see the show.
What's their 2 big hit songs? I don't remember off the top of my head, but if you watch their videos, they're very well done for their 2 big hit songs. Sugar, I think, was one, and
Kimchi Very Hot, the other one, yeah.
Kimchi Very
right?
Yeah.
None of that creativity.
And +1 for
coming from the guy
David, you're blanking out there. We're only getting every other word.
Yeah, your audio's
you must have a noise circuitry turned on or something.
So David, if that's the case, make every word count.
I'm gonna sign out with my phone.
Oh.
So let's talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, we'll talk amongst ourselves.
So what I have found in my forced experience with K-pop bands too is some of the better ones I was really impressed with. The first couple times I went, they all sang the track, and I was curious to see if they also had backing tracks as backup for their singers, because I did some stuff for Comdex where we had I had 8-track digital playback machines, and I had 24 tracks of music and vocals running on these ADAT machines. and they would sing live, but I had the background vocals, and because I had 8 singers, 8 of their parts on tracks along with the whole band, so that, we did 240 shows in 5 days in the Comdex booth with a big set with trapdoors and all kinds of crazy shit, right? And towards the end of the week, they were having trouble hitting the high notes, and I was punching in phrases on the console, and boy, you couldn't even tell. You couldn't even tell. It was great. They did such a great job. And so I was curious to know if they had, because they're dancing like maniacs, and I'll tell you, I don't know how they can move endlessly for 2 or 3 hours like that and not get tired out and have it affect their singing. So I wanted to go down and talk to them at the front of house console, and I couldn't get down there. It was just not going to happen. But a lot of them are all the bands on tracks. But what I've started to realize is some of the better bands that my wife has been working on, they're actually playing the instruments on the stage, which impressed me, because I thought it was all fake, corporate bullshit. And now I'm finding out that the better stuff is not fake. They're actually doing it. And BTS,
David, you have a doppelganger. That's amazing. God, the guy just looks just like you.
Well, it's amazing you couldn't get anywhere near them. That for the same reason, when I was traveling with Ariana Grande, they wouldn't let me anywhere near her.
I just wanted to go to front of house.
I had to wear a cowbell around my neck, so whenever I moved, they would know where I was.
Yeah, I didn't care about meeting the band. I just wanted to get down to front of house to see what they were doing, because I was truly curious, because I had done things of that sort before, and I wanted to see how they were doing it. If they were cheating or not is what I really wanted to see. And I was never able to figure that out. And later on, I discovered that they were not doing any cheating of the better bands.
They're doing an amazing amount of business, man. Amazing amount of business.
It's scary. It's just amazing. Yes.
It's interesting.
On Korean Air, they have a K-pop audio channel that I always listen to when when I want to go to sleep, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah, on Sirius Radio, because I have Sirius in my car. They have a Korean channel that my wife, if she's riding around with me, I have it on that channel for her. And we will listen to K. And it's tap your foot music. Even if you don't know what the hell they're singing, you're gonna sing along the tune with the tune and tap your foot, because it's just interesting. It's kind of dance music. It just keeps you moving, even if you don't know what the hell they're saying.
Well, it's kind of interesting if you think about it. Now, Greg says that's what he goes to sleep by.
I know.
I do. Well, hey, come on. When you're on a plane for 12 hours, you bet your ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think you would listen to, maybe, I don't know, Barbara Streisand. That puts me out all the time anyway. Just like, boom, those ballads, or listening to Calm, C-A-L-M, that'll do it too as well.
I got to be honest with you. When you're listening to the roar of the engines and just fly through the air, usually that conks me out pretty good. Usually.
Yeah, me too. For some reason, whenever I get on a plane, I get really tired.
Yeah,
really tired. That and the fact that I've taken a sleeping pill. But I can't figure that out.
Hey, one Dramamine and one glass of wine will knock you on your ass for the count.
See, you know what? And it's funny, Bo, she likes to take the Dramamines before she goes flying. And I said, you don't need them anymore. Those were the old days, But I'm going to give her that advice, Bruce, that she should drink a glass of wine, because she's saying this flight, she's never been on a flight. I mean, even
does she get motion sickness?
I don't know, because she always takes the pill.
Yeah, I'm very susceptible to motion sickness, but I usually take one just because I'm okay unless they get about, if they hit the dirt roads and it starts throwing you around in a plane. If I don't have cold air blasting on me, then I get very motion sickness. So I still take Dramamines when I fly, but I've never been sick on a plane. So.
Yeah, me neither. But then there are people that, there was just a story where this guy, shit and pissed in the aisles. He couldn't make it to the bathroom. And that is like my biggest fear. That not that it would happen to me, but I'd be next to a guy like that. That would be my biggest.
It happens all the time.
You know, but
explosive.
speaking of happiness, I really need to share this with you. Wally Amos. I don't know if you guys, if you're not from California, you know Famous Amos. You guys know who that is? The Famous Amos cookie.
Famous Amos.
Yeah, Famous Amos. He passed away. He passed away. He was 88 years old. He opened up his bakery in 1975 on Sunset Boulevard. I used to go there all the time. Loved his cookies. But the reason I bring that up, because somebody mentioned happiness, is that he was the one who coined the phrase "happiness is an inside job."
Wow.
And may he rest in peace. And that was that. You know, that's really cool. I mean, you know, he's, you know. Anyway, so I just thought I would say that.
So can you guys hear me now? Am I?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So this is my phone.
Which one are you?
We got you in stereo.
So what I was trying to say is BTS is a manufactured band.
Yeah.
There's a head guy.
We've been talking about that.
These clothes on, play these songs, talk like this, interview like that. And at some point, until they go out on their own and show me they've got the talent, they're just another manufactured monkeys. That's all they are. That's all of these bands are. One guy has, what, 3 or 4 of them, you said? They're just not individuals yet. When they become individuals, they become interesting to me. But until then, it's just another great song. It's like, okay, that's a great song. People write good songs. And they give it to these guys.
Well, I'm looking very much forward to, getting over there to Korea, listening to them tell me how to buckle my seatbelt. You know, that's really cool. I've actually flown Korea, so you're right, Greg, that does happen there. But one thing I will be careful of when I'm over in Korea is, in case you guys didn't know it, North Korea just opened up back international tourism. So basically, I now can go to North Korea if I really felt like being kidnapped and held for ransom.
That North Korea doesn't recognize U.S. passports.
Well, there you go.
If you had a British passport or you had a German passport, you can.
And why would you want to go there? I totally missed that.
I mean, just after
I would go. I would want to go there to get kidnapped and held for
passport.
ransom. I want to know that I'm really wanted, so I want to see how much money they can get from me.
Well, I'm sure all of us in the room today would pitch in a couple of bucks.
Well, don't do that for me, really, seriously.
I saw David going, well, maybe. Yeah,
maybe. You know,
maybe.
Because basically, I know David would do it if he was capable of chipping in a few bucks. But I heard this, and David, you can tell me this is true or not. I don't know, but I heard that you are bidding on the iconic Babe Ruth jersey that he hit the ball with, that he said, he pointed and said, this is for you, Timmy, whatever. Anyway, that jersey, that legendary jersey, is now up on auction, and I think David's bid is $30 million for that. Dave, is that true?
I won't go a penny above 34.
That's it. $30 million for a jersey, and it's dirty too. It's absolutely dirty. Good.
But does it smell like his sweat?
Well, it was how many years ago? 50, 60 years ago?
Long time.
I'm sure by now, if it smells like him now, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be on the same bus with that guy when they were traveling doing the games.
It was 90 years ago. It was in the 30s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're making me old sounding right now. That's it. Hey, you old guys. Anyway, so, you can Google it. You can Google it. Are you guys following what's going on with Google out there in the real world about how Google, I believe it's the Justice Department sued Google as a monopoly for their search engine?
A little bit, but not too detailed. I haven't been really paying attention.
Well, listen to this number, because this is gonna really, it shook me up when I found that Google pays Apple $20 billion in the year 2021. They paid them $20 billion to make their search engine the default engine on any of your Apple devices. So when you get an Apple device and you do a search, if you don't change it, it's going to be a Google search. They also do that with Firefox.
I thought it was Safari.
No, Safari's the browser.
Yeah.
The
as
search
far as the
engine
browser,
by
but the
default
search
is
engine is
Google.
different.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And for that they get $20 billion a year, probably up now. But I was listening to a really interesting article that that they're probably going to beat this rap. They can probably beat it, and they don't need to be the default engine anymore on anyone, because most people will go to Google to look things up. It's just already inbred in our minds that we want to, when I say I want to search for something on the web,
It's
you
not just
basically, the first thing you say is, I want to Google it.
it's
Go
not
Google
just search. It has to do with ordering and their own products and ads, and it's a much thicker
Android.
that there's a much thicker case than just about default search engines. So I think that I think that Google will get broken up.
Well, they already have a corporation, the Alphabet Corporation,
That's
and
the,
then
that's
they
the
do
holding
all sorts
company.
of things.
That's correct.
Yeah, but I would think that my thought process of it is that, and I believe this guy is right. That people, even if Google wasn't the default engine, people would still be using Google because they're embedded now in our brains.
That's correct. Yeah, it's just
Well,
like
how many people get telephone books from your telephone providers anymore?
They
Oh,
leave
I
them.
do.
They leave them on our porch every once in a while, but we usually heave them.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're making a big mistake by heaving them. Number one, it makes great toilet paper. Absolutely great toilet paper. You could save some money right there. But beside that, making great toilet paper, if you've ever opened one of those books, they're filled with coupons, discount coupons.
Really?
And you can save a shit ton of money on those local phone books. That's how they do it. So if you're looking for a plumber, you'll find an ad for the plumber, and you mention that you saw us on this yellow page, and you will get 50% off or 25% off or whatever. I mean, it's amazing. Restaurants and stuff like that. I didn't realize that, but a friend of mine, when we were in Vegas, he says, hey, look, let's go to this restaurant. I said, okay, I love that restaurant. He says, yeah, but look, in the phone book, it's giving us 50% off. One meal is free. Just like the entertainment guide. You guys remember that entertainment book?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's still in existence. I think they still have it.
In Vegas, yes.
Yeah,
I think.
Let me ask Annie. She gets one of those. Let me ask her which one she just got here.
Yeah. So now, basically, last week I mentioned this, and I don't know if anybody anybody said anything about it to me, but in regards to companies cracking down on sharing, has anybody experienced any of that?
Yeah, sure. Netflix has me when I'm on the road in the bus and I use my Fire Stick. Every once in a while, Netflix has me re-register. So
Right.
they're on it.
Well, Costco now just announced that from now on, they're going to be checking ID when you walk in the store, because people let other people use their cards. And so they want to stop that too. Costco is now doing that. They just announced that they're going to be doing that.
Not when you walk
eh?
in, Jim, when you're at the register.
No, they say they're walking in, because once you're in, you're in. So they're going to be checking your ID, because all those Costco's have that beautiful picture of you that's about quarter of an inch by a quarter of an inch, and you have to hold it up to your face. If you
Right.
don't
So
match,
I was
boom.
just at Costco yesterday, and the business center doesn't have it, but the regular center does. The Burbank one does, and it's a little stick that sticks up, and it's got a screen on it, and you just hold your card up to it, and it goes blip, and then they wave you in, and you're in. So they are checking. The business ones.
Wow.
When I went to the business one yesterday, I said, so hey, Burbank Costco's got the card checker, and she says, yeah, we'll have it by the end of the month. So so they're happening.
Wow.
But if you have a
I mean,
business
it is
account,
happening.
if you have a
Hey,
business
Ken Porter,
account,
welcome.
Hey, Ken.
if you have a business account, how does that work? How do I tell who it is?
I got to be honest with you. My card just says executive on it, and I have a business account, and they didn't ask for anything to prove it or anything. I just, it's $100 a year, and I think regular Costco is 50 or 60. I don't know, but it's worth it because sometimes they let business people in earlier, and I don't know. Anybody can go to the business center though, but they specialize in, like, if you think the regular Costco has bulk, man, the business center has like super bulk.
Oh
And
yeah, but it's yeah.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Jan.
Bruce. Go ahead. No. Because but it's basically business oriented stuff.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
people that own restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah. And they have a whole area of like professional kitchens, those great big honking, Viking stoves and huge like coolers, those refrigerators that are on the wheels that look like train wheels, They have a whole area of all that real high-end pro stuff that you'd put in a restaurant that you can buy if you want to.
Yep. Yeah, it's when you ask for paper towels, you hear the forklift going beep, beep, beep.
It's still, though, a great place to eat lunch and buy chicken, no matter what you think, I mean, they still have that $1.50 meal that, with a Coke and a hot dog or a chicken sandwich or whatever. And it's a lost leader for them, but they do it. And the same with the chickens. But did you know that they put the chickens on the back of the store, so you have to walk through the whole store to get the chicken?
Oh, and every time, and they change everything around in the store all the time. You can't hardly find anything ever because nothing's in the same place twice. And they do that on purpose. But it's still a fun place.
Oh yeah, man! I can't wait to go back into a Costco. I can't wait to show Bo what a Costco is. They have a store here in Thailand called Macro, and Macro is like, I don't know, if you would look at it like Knott's Berry Farm compared to Disneyland, or. So
here's an interesting thing I found about Costco is my wife was like a big Costco fan before I was, and she sort of got me into it. But everywhere she goes to Costco because every place, even in the States, they cater to the local whatever, right? So every Costco carries different stuff. And when we went into the one in Seoul, it was like radically different than anything I'd seen in the United States. In fact, when we travel in the car, she plans our routes based on getting gas at Costco's, So I think we've been to almost every Costco on the Western United States because,
what I find is Sam's Club is great for gas too. I mean, of course, I'm going back a year now, but Sam's Club and Costco are very compatible, and it's easier to get gas at Sam's Club because the lines are not usually as long as Costco. Costco lines are really, really, really long, and then you save. How much you really saving when you sit in a line for 20 minutes?
Well, they're not that long. A lot of the pumps now are 3 or 4 to a alley, so they move a lot faster than they used to. That's for sure.
I just read that Sam's Club's membership is down 40%. So who knows what that means?
Well, Sam's Club doesn't really, promote their membership. Basically, I guess they do. You have to go into the card with Sam's Club. It's $25-$35. I have the business account as well, which if by having the executive account, and if you get prescription medicine, having that card is usually cheaper than putting it on your own plan. I mean, when I go there and I buy like my ibuprofen, it's cheaper for me to use Sam's Club. And of course, I'm going back a year now, but I'll find out because I'll be there next week, and I'm definitely looking forward to going there. Oh, by the way, just an FYI, the system in America is so crazy now that I've lived here in Thailand. Okay, I'm just going to say this and get it off my chest. If I want to buy ibuprofen, or I want to buy I take a pill called amlodipine, which is for high blood pressure. I take a pill like that. So for me, if I need amlodipine, I go to any pharmacist, which is like they're on every corner here, or some are even in a corner in the middle of the block. There's pharmacists everywhere. You walk in and you say, "Hi, I need some amlodipine," and they say, "How many do you need?" How do they sell? They sell in blister packs of 10. If you only want to buy 5, they'd split up a blister pack and sell you 5. But I buy them at 10, okay? And that's it. If I'm not feeling well, I'll go into the pharmacist and I'll say, "Hey, I've got a headache or hurt my hand," or whatever. And the pharmacist will then tell me what they recommend for me to buy, okay? And it's dirt cheap. I'm coming back to the United States and I want to get my prescription filled because I have insurance and I want to use it. I call Sam's Club and they say, sorry, your prescriptions are no longer valid. You need to go to the doctor. And so now I've got to go to the doctor before they're going to refill my prescription.
They do that to me once a year. I have to go to the doc for my blood test because I'm on high blood pressure and thyroid. I have no thyroid. So every year my prescriptions I get them filled in 90-day blocks and it's good for a year. And then I have to have a blood test and then they reassign me for the next year.
So let me ask you this. When you go into the doctor, does she test you for thyroid or does she just writes the prescription?
No, when I go into the doctor, they send me for my blood check and they take out a couple vials of blood and they usually do my prescription right away. But they may once they changed it in the middle of they said your next prescription, we're changing your dose. But
yeah,
but I've been pretty stable. I'm 69 and I've been on thyroid since I was 23. And it's been once they found the right dose, it's been very stable. So I haven't had any problem with it at all.
Yeah.
They've actually never changed it. So
yeah.
The other thing is
if you
can call your doctor and just say, renew my subscription. You don't have to go.
Well, mine, they want me to get my blood checked once a year.
That's you. But his high blood pressure, the odds are they just give it to him until something's wrong.
No, they won't. They want to see you. And especially now that Medicare has this wellness check, they call me all the time. They want that money from the doc. They want that money from they want me in the office for the wellness for my wellness check. That's what they want. And I keep saying, well, I'm in Thailand. When I come back,
I don't get that at all.
Jan, I get that with I have Aetna supplemental on my Medicare. And you could do it virtually.
Yeah. Well, I can't. They won't let me do it. She said they stopped doing that. They said they stopped doing the virtual meetings now that COVID, now that COVID is no longer in effect.
I just had mine on the 14th. And I
got a virtual meeting?
$50 gift certificate for getting it done.
Well, let me ask you something. Is your doctor's name Vinny Boombatz? What the hell? There it is. Thank you, Rodney.
Down here in Australia, we've got to go back into the doctor, and I think they're just about changing that. But I've been taking blood pressure tablets for 24 years or something. I got two, and mine are just about. I was just looking at them because one of them, Jan, is the same as what you were just talking about, and but I've got to go back in, so I've got one repeat left, and now I've got to go to the doctor. But I did hear the other day they were going to change that, but it used to be like, I think I could get, I don't know how many repeats originally, but that was a 6 month, whereas I think I was getting 3 before. But I get a proper checkup. They do what Bruce said, you go get a blood test and you get all these other things, and you always ask about other ailments when you go. But we've got a wonderful health system in Australia, really, overall, because we get a rebate if you go to the doctor, and it's we've got a good public health system here. Wow. But yes, we have to go back to the doctor in the Australia land to get a new script.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's just the system is what the system is. Every country has their own system, and that's how it works. I mean, speaking of insurance right now, I'm going to swing over to car insurance. All right, so I'm renting a car, right? And the car, let's just say, is $80 a day. I'm renting a car. It happens to be a BMW from a company called Sixth. You guys know about SIXTH? Do they have a shuttle van that goes around the airport?
The 6T is how it's pronounced, but yeah, they've got shuttles at McCarran. You'll be able to get onto a 6T shuttle and get taken over.
I can't get somebody on the phone. The people I call on the phone are for the Philippines. There's no local phone number for it. Anyway, so if I wanted to fully cover that car with insurance, it's more than the cost of the rental of the car.
Check with them for your Costco card, because if you use your Costco card, it should cover it. Your extra insurance.
Actually, all of these cards, none of the cards will cover liability. They will all cover damage and collision, but they won't cover liability.
Oh,
So that's really important. But American Express has this plan, which is off the hook great. I think it's $1 million, $2 million. You could look it up. American Express Premium Insurance. Any American Express card that you have offers this insurance. It's $24 per rental for 100% coverage during the rental up to 90 days.
wow. That's great.
That I've never, I mean, I was shocked. I called them up. I called them up twice to make sure that that the first guy that gave me the information was doing, and whoever it is, he must have said, "Hey, tell the guy the same thing when he calls again." But nonetheless, no, it really is true. $24 for the whole entire rental.
Wow.
Which is a great. I mean, look into it, guys. It's pretty amazing, you know. But what I was saying is insurance is going up through the roof right now, and what's happening is like General Motors is now being sued by, I think it's by the state of Texas. What they did is they started selling the information from the cars to the insurance companies, and auto insurance now rates are rising at the fastest rate in 47 years. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that auto insurance costs in March were up 22%, increase from February. Unbelievable. March rise in insurance cost is the largest gain since December 1976, when prices rose 22.4% over the prior year. So General Motors is being sued right now because they've been selling your data. If you have OnStar, they've been selling the data to the insurance companies.
Yeah, that's wrong.
You're telling me that's wrong,
Your
That's
Wi-Fi's
more than
going
wrong.
out, Jan. You're frozen.
I'm frozen, but can you hear me?
Now you're back. You were frozen. You're
Well,
melted
I'm in a
now.
hotel room in Bangkok. What do you expect? That's it.
The room next door to you screaming porn.
Yep, that's it. That's it. All right,
That's funny.
David, I got a story for you. I know you like fast food, and the person who turned me on to Chick-fil-A was you many, many years ago. You guys are familiar with Chick-fil-A?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good.
Well, McDonald's holds on to the number one spot of how many are fast food chains. So they have 13,457 outlets. And last year, take a guess on how much McDonald's grossed last year.
8 billion.
Well, I don't have a clue.
$53 billion.
Oh my God.
53. You know who is number two? Starbucks. They came in at only a mere paltry 28.7 billion last year's in sales. Is
That's
that
amazing.
insane?
Yeah, that's amazing they did that well. It's a coffee place, yeah.
Anyway,
they could afford that car that Wayne has there, Jan.
Yeah. And basically Chick-fil-A, they only came in with a mere paltry $8.5 million.
Poultry.
Million or billion? Billion.
Billions and billions. That's I feel
Billion,
like I feel like
million. You misspoke.
No, it's millions.
Millions?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's I didn't misspeak. I left out a word from each of its outlets. So who's got a calculator? They have 11,000 stores times 8.5 million.
That's 9 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Oh, 9
Yep.
Wait a minute. They have 11,000 stores. Okay.
Speaking of a lot of money, you know what really amazed me? I read this article in I think it was Yahoo Finance. I'm pretty sure it was that the global tattoo business. Do you have any idea what the global tattoo business is doing right now? Anybody here have a tattoo?
Well. Very well.
Last year they did 2.2 billion. And they say it's going to double by 2023, but there is one business now that is booming, and I think it's a great investment. If I could figure out a company that does it, tattoo removals. They think that it's going to hit $800 million by 2027.
Well, I
So-
bet you could find a company in Las Vegas to invest in, because if Las Vegas will definitely have to have a tattoo removal
You'd think.
parlor. Yeah.
You'd
I
think.
mean, as many as, you go in, they're all over the place in Vegas.
Basically, I think you'd want to invest in the company that makes the laser. So that's how they remove them.
I was wondering how they did that. Do you know how they actually they burn it off?
Yeah, they have a
Oh.
laser, and I have a friend that's a very skilled dermatologist, and there are some tattoos that they just can't really get off. So
Wow.
It's the pulsing laser.
Yeah. So Ken, how many tattoos do you have? Can I count on you to get some tattoos removed this year?
Wrong.
this is wrong.
It's funny. My daughter's like 50, and when she was about 18, I guess, she had a strappy thing on, and I said to her, I see you got a tattoo on her shoulder, and it was like a squirrel or some stupid thing, right? And I says, I only have one comment, and she looked at me and she goes, "Shut up, Dad, I don't want to hear it." So I didn't say anything, right? So now she's 50. She's got few kids that are just got done with college and doing pretty well for herself, right? And not that long ago, I was down visiting her, and she had some shirt or something on, and her tattoo was showing. You couldn't even, she's 50 now. You couldn't even tell what the tattoo was. And I says, well, looks like your tattoo's kind of faded, and I don't even know what it is anymore. And she looked at me and she said, "And you were going to tell me that was going to happen, weren't you?" And I said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. I mean, anyone who didn't look at an old movie of sailors, like in World War II, and those people. I mean, you see their tattoos on it's horrible. Those anchors that they have. I mean, they're weathered more than they are.
Yeah.
Other big thing with tattoos. I can't quite remember the research, but there was a research paper done that the ink enters into your blood system and is not good.
I'm surprised that people don't get cancer from it.
Well,
because the littlest things give you cancer. I can't believe that tattoos don't.
Yeah, I don't know that it's cancer, but it is. There's very strong correlation between the ink and several different maladies. I can't remember what it is, but I did see a research paper up on the net a while back examining correlation between tattoo ink and some different ailments, and it was highly correlated. And so now they're researching. They're trying to research inks that are better for you, quote unquote. But obviously, the best approach is to get the one that you lick, you put on, lasts for a couple of days,
wash it off.
Yeah. Or a henna tattoo. That's another good way to go. The henna tattoos.
Bazooka. Remember in Bazooka bubble gum, they used to have those. You lick the thing and
lick them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the best freaking tattoo that was ever invented.
Bazooka Joe, baby, Bazooka Joe. Anyway, one other thing, whatever we're doing, as a society, they just announced some scientific research lab just found out that 90%, that's the percentage of animal and vegetable protein samples that were tested positive for microplastics, according to a new study. That we're all being inundated with microplastics.
Seems to be plastic and everything. Plastic and aluminum
in the air.
Yeah, aluminum too. We were looking at Crudenson blueberry muffins the other day. I have this program now that you can scan the barcode on a box, and it tells you all the crap that's in it, and it labels it like, out of 0 out of 100, and 100 being it's okay for you, and 0 being it's going to kill you right away, and then they tell you about what's in it in order of how bad it is for you, and then if you scroll down, there's alternatives that are better for you, and you can look through those too. But I was surprised.
What's it called?
I'll tell you. It's on my phone here. Hold on one second. I'll bring it up. It's got a goofy name.
Now, when you go into a restaurant like McDonald's, will that tell you
if it's got a
what you're doing to
barcode,
kill yourself?
it needs a barcode. YUKA, and it's a little square, white square, and it's got a carrot, an orange carrot with a green top on it. That's their logo, and it's called YUKA.
YUKA.
And you download it on your phone, and then you just turn it on, and you hit scan, and you know, like you do when you're scanning any barcode or whatever, and bloop, it just comes up and it tells you, oh my God. And what seems to be in everything is plastic and aluminum. And you know what?
Yeah.
Aluminum? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's there was a very interesting interview Tucker Carlson had on a couple of doctors just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I watched it. I watch all of his stuff. It's always so interesting.
Yeah, discussing how basically, God, it's even worse than you think. So just by virtue of having plastic packaging, you're actually getting some transfer from the plastic package into your vegetables or into your meat or whatever.
The doc he was talking to said that when you go in a store and you look around and all these vegetables are wrapped in plastic, all that stuff is shedding into your food and into what you eat. It's just
oh God.
Well, the other problem is microwaving in plastic too. That's really bad.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, if you're going to microwave, use Pyrex. Pyrex is the best.
Yes. Any glass is great. Yep.
You know the measuring bowl. It's got a handle on it, and you put like 4 cups, and you measure. And
a measuring cup.
Yeah, a measuring cup, I guess it's called. Yeah, there's a couple different sizes of those, and those are really great for microwaving stuff.
Yeah. The Pyrex, they make Pyrex.
Pyrex, yeah, Pyrex.
Yeah, Pyrex is really good. Yeah. You know. By the way, earlier I mentioned McDonald's. I just want to let you know right now, Chili's. You familiar with Chili's?
Yeah, love
people
Chili's.
People are moving from McDonald's for their hamburgers over to Chili's. Chili's had a 15% jump of buying quarter pounder hamburgers over at Chili's rather than the McDonald's.
Completely different.
Yeah, Chili's is actually a sit-down sort of restaurant, and McDonald's is a fast food place. They're very different from each other.
Well, they both have tables and they both have food, so and they're both called restaurants.
One has waited service. It's a whole different thing. It's got fajitas. It's got a giant menu. It's completely different than McDonald's.
Yes, but people are going there instead to spend the kind of money. But McDonald's, in exchange for that, losing business to Chili's, they just dropped their prices down to the $5 menu again.
I was going to say that's because McDonald's raised all their prices, and now you might as well go to a restaurant and eat real food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But now McDonald's is losing business, so they dropped down to now they're paying.
Actually, when fast food, Wendy's menu right now is a lot better. I mean, even their breakfast menu. I have, I like sausage, egg, cheese. They used to be McMuffins, but Wendy's came out with a competitor to it, and it is 10 times better. The meat is better.
What about Burger King's the little fluffy things with the egg and cheese in the middle? What do they call them?
Breakfast burritos?
No, they're not burritos. They're
Egg McMuffins?
No. Burger King's breakfast.
I don't know.
Jesus, I can't believe it.
Well, that's what happens when you get old. You forget things. You forget things. So.
Okay, they're the croissant witch.
Oh, it's a croissant witch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we get a cup of coffee and a croissant witch when we're on our way to someplace in the morning a lot of times, and those damn things are good.
Yeah, I'm sure they are because they're so fattening. They just sound fattening.
Yeah, the amount of butter
Yeah, croissant's got a ton of butter in them.
Let's talk about how much sodium's in them.
Yeah. Even bagels. Bagels are like,
They're not
Well,
bad.
that's why I go to Dunkin'
Basically,
Donuts.
you
Dunkin' Donuts
just
has
can't
always-
eat highly processed food. That's it. You got to stay away from highly processed food.
Well, Dunkin'
Krispy
Donuts has
Kremes.
bagels and eggs and real bacon. So they make great breakfasts to hit.
I tell you what,
they have
Jim, when
proven-
you get to Vegas, though, you're going to miss all the fruit all the
Yeah.
fruit that's in Thailand.
Well,
You
I'm
betcha.
really worried right now. I mean, to be blunt with you, what I am really worried about more than anything else is the freshness of the food compared to what we're eating right now. Because every day we just eat fresh food. Everything's picked that day or the day before. And so we're eating really fresh food with no preservatives.
Right.
Something tells me when I go to Vegas, I'm not going to be able to accomplish that same ability to eat, at least
You
not
will, and even
at
if
that
you go
price.
to a premium grocery store, a mango or a papaya is just going to suck compared to what you've been having. So,
Oh man, the fruit here is just off the hook good.
Put
yeah.
that program on your phone, Jan.
I got it. I wrote it down.
You could walk
Yucca.
around. You could walk around in a grocery store and be zapping stuff.
Oh yeah, that'll make
I
me
tell
sick.
you, you should take Bo to the Bacchanal though.
The
The
Bacchanal.
buffet the buffet at Caesars.
Oh really?
Yeah,
What's that?
it will blow her
$50 now.
mind.
So, what do
Yeah.
you think is going to blow her mind the most about bringing her here? What do you think, Jan?
Disneyland.
I think the thing that's going to blow her mind the most
Yeah.
is in reality is seeing the sign "Welcome to America" as you walk through I think that's
Okay, then second thing, because that's pretty amazing in itself. But once she's here, what do you think she'll be pretty fried over?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know because we got a lot of we're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to be going, driving around Las Vegas. I think the Strip is very impressive. I want
Yeah.
to take her to the Sphere. I'm going to take her to the O Show. Taking her to Disneyland. I think she's going to be overwhelmed on everything. I
Wow.
don't think there's
When
going to be
she
one
lands,
thing.
I
when
can't
she
wait to hear
lands in
about
Las,
you tell us what she says. I can't wait to
when she
hear.
lands in Las Vegas and the airport is a casino, I think that's going to blow her away right away.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be really tired. We'll be jet lagged like crazy, but she'll be like a kid in a candy store. Everything will be new.
That's right.
But what we're going to know in 3 days. In
Wow,
3
that's
days we
great.
will know. It took a lot. I mean, really, it took a lot to get her this visa to come to America, and
Over a
it
year,
was
right?
well over a year,
Yeah.
and so much money. I don't even want to think about it. But the reality is that it's going to be worth every penny, every cent when I see the look on her face of an awe of what she sees, what is America, and I'm guessing that maybe within 6 weeks she'll be ready to go back to Thailand. If that much.
So the money you spent, was it to get through the logistics of Thailand to get her there, or was it the logistics of the U.S. to bring her?
Combination of both. I mean,
Really?
the legal fees were close to about $8,000 or $9,000.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
Oh,
the
yeah.
the we live in Hua Hin, so we had to go back and forth from Hua Hin to Bangkok. So every time I did that was about $500. Then we had to go get medical tests. That was like over 1,000. Police reports, birth certificates, printing, blah blah blah, on and on and on.
Translation.
Oh yeah,
And to think that the
it.
government's shipping plane loads of people over here every day
Yep.
from all over South America. So it's unbelievable.
Well, the challenge is that the challenge is that it's there's one size fits all. They don't discriminate against where you're coming from, and as a matter of speaking. So if you come from Thailand, you come from China, it's the same in most cases
Is
as
it?
if you're coming from Mexico. But if you're coming from France or Spain or London, it's a lot easier. But
Oh,
I've
really?
been following this lawyer
Took
and
me over a year for the French one, and my niece married a guy who got a British passport. Took him almost 2 years.
well,
Same
you know what?
shit.
Right now, there's an article in the paper. I heard it on CNN that one of the Bolivian World Cup soccer team, they don't think that they're going to get a visa in time because right now the visa is running like 560 days to get a visa from Bolivia to the United States,
Yeah.
and that's the
Doesn't
World
shock me.
Cup team. And that's Bolivia, I mean, so you wouldn't think,
And that's
but
coming up. World Cup in the U.S. is coming up next spring.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. And they don't think they're going to have enough time to get the Bolivian team visas to the United States.
The embassy will expedite it, but yeah, I mean.
No, they're not expediting. The president of Bolivia has contacted the State Department and senators that are in charge of this to try to get it expedited. But as of right now, they're turning a deaf ear on them.
Wow.
Yep. But speaking of, and speaking of people from Bolivia, I know a lot of people want to come to Cavlo, Mike Brown's thing, which is taking place in Seattle. So registration is now open for Cavlo for Seattle. I don't have the dates offhand. Maybe I can give you the dates. Let me see. I've got a link here. I'll throw it in the chat.
Forgive my ignorance. Well, what is Cavlo?
It's a convention.
I don't know what. It's a convention. A friend of ours, Mike Brown. I don't know. Did I just give you the right? I think whatever reason it didn't come. It didn't.
Chris, do you remember Mike Brown? He was on our group. He was on our group a lot in the older days, but
yeah,
he started a convention, of gear, gear like JBL and
audio gear. Oh, okay.
Well, it's a little bit. I think it's everything,
like,
isn't it? Lighting and everything.
Yeah,
right?
But it's more like for install. For install.
Yeah, so he started this convention, and it was really successful.
Yeah, Ken was involved with that for a while with him, right?
I helped him when he was in Nashville, but it's mostly AV stuff, audiovisual, install.
So anyway, I still like the guy. We used to go out to lunch all the time, but he's been very, very busy these days. Super busy.
Why did you offend him? What'd you do to offend him?
Probably what I do to everybody. The same thing. By the way, speaking of offensive stuff, did you guys see, by any chance, did you happen to see what's David showing? David, you got to talk.
DMP 11.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought of what I was saying. Oh well, and I can't listen back to what it was. But like like my aunt used to say, well, if you can't remember it, it wasn't that important.
He said, "Has anybody seen something or other?" And then it stopped.
Has anybody seen? Well, if it comes to me, it was worth repeating. If not, what could I say? Anybody seen? All right. Well, that's it. I can't think of anything else.
Well, that DMP 11 is like the second digital console ever made by Yamaha. It was
really?
rack mounted, had 8 channels, and we talked about that when we saw the DMP.
Oh yeah. This was the thing that when the DX7 was out, right? It came out around the same time as the keyboard.
It's a rack mounted. You can see the faders are vertical.
You're oh, I see. You're on the other screen.
Yeah.
I'm running without.
Yeah, he's in stereo.
You can take it together. The only problem was it did not have a Q bus. So you couldn't queue anything up if you used it for PA.
Really? Interesting.
Very interesting. More than interesting. Oh well. Oh, I know what I was asking, and it was important. Did anybody see the post that I made promoting the show, the quick stories from the show? Did anybody see those on Facebook or Instagram or any of those things?
No.
Yeah, I saw them. You were promoting your video artwork.
Yes. So, I mean, I wanted to say, so I tried to keep it just from my comments because I didn't know if you guys would appreciate it if I took some highlights out of the show and put you guys into it as well. So that's what I'm asking now. Would anybody have any objections if there was a highlight that I thought was humorous and there's plenty of moments of humor that people, but there would be 15 seconds of, a quick story or something like that, snippets. If anybody has any problem with that, let me know now. Otherwise, I might include you.
Are you going for like a sponsorship from this company, Jan? Is that what all this is about? The company makes that software? The company that makes that video editing.
No, it
software
comes
that
with
you-
it comes with Zoom now. Zoom is
Well,
now offering this thing called the script, which is really cool because basically you edit video by words. So you
no, I'm
dump the
talking
video.
about the background with the that you did last week with all the. You know what I'm talking about is where.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah,
did-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fancy,
What
fancy
what
image.
what you're talking about is this, is that I'm too cheap to buy the app, so I
Yeah.
have to use their branding on the app. And I use two different apps. I used two different apps. One was called Scenery, and the other one was called I already told you what it was, the Script. And
Yeah.
so I had to use two of them to edit it the way I wanted to. So you'll see on the top it says Scenery, on the bottom it says the Script, because I wouldn't pay for it. You know, that's all there is to it. I'm just.
That's what I'm saying is your motivation for doing this is so you'll get it for free.
No, 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 no. My motivation to do this, is to make everyone in this room a respected auditor so that we could go out and sell our services as guest speakers at various events.
Because see, Jim, we're all aware that soundbrokers.com is always looking for a deal.
Always looking for a deal, babe. Always looking for a deal. But these days, I'm at the bare bones of Soundbroker right now. You know, I've really cut back on everything as far as my expenses, and I'm passing all of that cost savings on to our members. And it's really an opportunity for people to make some really, it's really an opportunity for people to make some money without having to pay me a commission, which is great. I mean, it's pretty cool. So it's working. Plus, we're selling classified ads now on Soundbroker, which we've never done before. So you want to sell something and advertise. It's really inexpensive way to advertise and not have to pay any fees, except for the advertising cost.
Does that include advertising lowlifes?
Well, so far I haven't really had any offers yet of anybody buying an ad, except, well, actually that's not true. BLM out of New York, Eric bought two ads, and it worked really well for him for his auction. So I'm just lazy about promoting it right now, but it's going to come down the pipe. Right now I'm ready to take on an equity partner, somebody who really wants to get in and make some money with us, and and eventually take over the company. That's what I'm looking for at this point in time. But until that happens, I'm going to keep on moving on, because I've built something up for the last 27 years that is a great value to people. And I get calls all the time from people I haven't heard from in years, looking for stuff or wanting to sell stuff, and we've been pretty successful.
Hey, Wayne.
Nice car.
Yeah. So is that it, Bruce? Is that the same car?
No, it's not. But this picture's for you, babe.
Is that a super sport or a
that was my '69 Camaro Rally Sport with a 396, a 3/4 cam,
Wow.
and side headers and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that a Camaro?
Yes, it is. 69 RS Camaro. Yep.
I just have one question. I know we're live, but before you got married, did you ever have sex in that car?
Yes.
You crack me up.
PMI.
Remember to click the like button.
So the car that's in the background that I've just put up, that's a because Jan was talking about General Motors. That's a Holden, and I think that there's only one of those.
Do you know that Holden, before they closed, they built in 2016 and 17, they built a Chevelle SS with a V8 with hydraulic suspension, and oh man, it was a supercar. But it was a 4-door. You could get it in an automatic or a standard, and it listed for $42,000. And that was in 16 and 17, and it was limited edition, and that was the last car that they built before they closed the plant in Australia. And that was one of the coolest cars, and I still to this day kick myself in the butt for not buying one, because if I bought one now, it would be the same price. It would be about 45 grand, only it would have about 70,000 miles on it. But look it up, Chevelle 2017 Chevelle Super Sport. And
I had the Camaro. It was great. It was
what year?
David, do you remember what year it was? It was like the late 70s.
Late 70s?
Camaro?
They went through some versions that
You
were
had
really
so many
cool.
cars. I don't remember what cars you had. You used to
The
change
one thing
cars
I
every
didn't,
year.
the one thing I didn't like about the Camaro is that the ventilation system went through the cab of the car, and you couldn't shut it off. There was always a fan blowing in the car.
Some of the older
No
cars
matter
were
what.
like that. I remember that. I actually
Yeah.
like that though, but I always liked a breeze, you know. Everybody in my car that rode around with me was always freezing to death, and I was fine.
Yep.
So that one in the picture there is in 1970. They never released it. It was a prototype car, but they built two, I think.
Wow.
And one sat around, and they renovated it and put it back together again, and that's the only one apparently.
It's probably worth a fortune now.
You would think so.
Yeah.
And it had a television for the rear vision mirror.
Really, my car now has that. It's a camera for my rearview mirror, and I love it. It's so much better than a mirror. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God, it's so easy to park the car because it has the lines that show you where you're going.
Well, that's the backup camera, but I have a rear view mirror that in the top of the hatch, there's a camera up there also, and it's the rear view mirror camera. And there's buttons on the bottom of the mirror that you can adjust it to the left or to the right, or zoom in or focus it, or you can do anything you want with it. It's so big. If you buy it as a separate option, it's like $450 when you pick it on a list. But depending on what model you get, it will come with the car. And that's my car that I drive now has that camera. And that was one of the reasons why I love that. And it works great at night. You know, there's no glare on it. And it's a wider angle than the mirror, and it's way more detailed.
They had to do that with all the mid-engine cars. They couldn't put a rear view mirror.
You know what? I hadn't thought about that, but that's exactly right. And on the pickup trucks, that camera is up on top above that light over the back window. And boy, you get the bird's eye view when you look in your mirror. It's great.
David's got a banana car, I think.
Listen, we just passed the 1 hour mark, so I just want to see if anybody has anything you want to say to the general public before we say goodbye, and then we stay in the room and talk whatever we want about. Anybody?
More peace.
Okay, world peace. Yeah, that was my post.
Not this week.
You know,
not this week.
Well, I'm not, it's hard for me to follow the news right now because I'm traveling, but I'm sure the world will still be here when I get back to Las Vegas. So
I'm sure.
That's for sure. Anyway, just remember, thanks for watching. You remember to click the like button. You make it happen. And I don't mean it just like you make it happen. I mean, really, you make it happen. The only thing that we're really in control of is how we relate to what happens to us. And I said that again. So, but I want you to stay safe and stay healthy. And remember, really, you make it happen. Go out and do something nice for yourself and for somebody else, and you'll be glad you did. And next week, I will be coming into your homes from Las Vegas, Nevada. And so
Safe
that's
journeys,
pretty exciting.
Have
Just
fun
remember
on the
one last
plane.
thing. Say again.
Safe journeys. Have fun.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, we'll see you all we'll see you all from Las Vegas. Chris, next week I will probably see you in person, and we'll try to plan. See how many people we can come. Maybe Bruce will come. Kenny, Dave. Well, David will be out of town. Ken Newman has said he wanted to come. And my friend Sean, you remember Sean from Vox? He says that he would like to come as well. So anyway, we'll talk about that off air. And remember, thanks for watching. Everything you heard today is an opinion, so do your own research. And we will talk to you again next time. Bye-bye now. And we are off the air.
All right. So, Chris, I have a question. Where on earth did you get a pair of UPA ones to